Hello guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Today I'm super mega excited to be sharing this video with you guys because today we're gonna be sharing terrible lesbian movies. And to be honest, I feel like this list is probably one of the most easiest lists I've ever done, just because we all know that, when it comes to lesbian content, lesbian movies, it's very hard to find a really good lesbian movie. But this is just my personal picks, the ones that I have watched and that I just disliked. I just felt like it was empty, it wasn't giving what it's supposed to give, if I make sense. But before we get into further details, I would also like to know your personal opinion, because your personal opinion does matter. So let's get right into it. So first, we're gonna start off with Jewel. While visiting a memorial, a photographer finds herself drawn to a local woman. Later, their romance stirs up painful memories of a shared past. The movie is available to watch on Netflix and was released in 2022. Michelle and Candy are the lesbian affair that developed. The reason why I didn't like the movie was because of the acting. I just felt like it didn't feel realistic. It was kind of forced, the connection between them two. But the quality is amazing, and also the outcome was kind of confusing. Like, I just feel like it should have had a different type of outcome, to me, in my personal opinion. And the movie had a lot of potential actually to be great, but I just felt like it lacked a lot of connection realistically. I just feel like they needed to give more when it comes to the two ladies, and also they needed to work a little bit more on the acting to make you feel more engaged with the movie. But if you guys haven't known about the existence of this movie, I would 100% recommend you all to go to Netflix, type in Jewel. This is actually a South African movie. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm over exaggerating, but that's just my opinion. Like I said, this list is based on my opinion on movies that me personally I disliked, and that I just felt like it was empty. And then we're gonna move on to the next one, and this one is Me, Myself, and Her. Two women, Marina and Federica, live in each other as a couple when Marina accepts, basically an offer to act in a film, while Federica gets involved in an affair with another man. And the reason why this movie is terrible, is that after everything Federica put Marina through, not only cheating, also the way she treated her at the end of the movie, Federica goes and tries to get Marina back, and by surprise, after all the humiliation and disrespect, Marina decides to forgive Federica and give her a second chance. And that made me so mad. I was like, no ways. After everything she put you through, the humiliation, she went to have an affair, she fell in love with the person that she had an affair with, she got mad at you for you finding out about the affair, she chose the man over you, and then after all the man and her didn't work out, she goes running back to you to ask you for forgiveness, and you just accept it and be like, okay. Like, that really made me mad. Like, I will probably never rewatch this movie again. That's how mad it made me, because I just felt like, damn, you should have stayed on your ground and be like, no, like, you hurt me and there's no way back. Let's just bygone be bygones. But that wasn't the case, and that made me very mad. So this is the reason why this movie is just terrible. And then moving on to the next one, we have Dark Bacon. Amy traces her former lover to a distant lighthouse, only to find her in the deepest of alcohol-induced medicine. She decides to save her lover's daughter, who is haunted by something. The movie was released in 2017. It's basically a horror slash mystery. And the reason why me personally I disliked this movie is because the acting was horrible. Like, first and foremost, the characters wasn't giving what it was supposed to give, and it's a horror, and for a horror it was super slow, it was super boring, it was very straight to the point. There was nothing different. It wasn't giving nothing different, and it was something that also really made me mad, because I felt like it had a lot of potential actually to be a good horror movie. It was very minimalistic. It was just nada, empty. Beth and Amy were the basically the couple that developed. and super, it just didn't make sense to me. This movie really just didn't make sense to me. It was like I was watching it, but I was just like, I'm just gonna watch it just to do a review. And while I was watching it, I was also skipping it just to get to see the action of it. And you can only see like real action in this movie at the end of the movie, which is like, oh, like I had to wait almost an hour just to get a little bit of action at the end, which for me personally it didn't make no sense. So that is something that really like I would not recommend watching this movie at all, like at all. And then we're gonna move on to the next one, and this one is Adan. The movie got a 5 out of a 10 rating, which already says a lot about the movie. It's a drama thriller and was released in 2019. It's about a naive provincial girl finds a way to get a hold of her independence through the help of her best friend, but the actions have nerve-shaking consequences. Things between them got intense and took a very negative turn because at the end of the movie they end up taking each other lives away on the bus, because they came to a point where they just felt like they couldn't trust each other no more. There was betrayal, and they just feel like the only way that they can get themselves out of this situation and them going apart from one another is by taking that action, by taking each other's life, which personally I feel like this movie is very toxic. Just to begin off, I feel like at the beginning they had a lot of potential, but this movie also shows possession. It also shows when you're like obsessed with someone, when you don't want to let them go, when you don't want to let them be with nobody. So the only way that you guys can come to a mutual agreement is by you guys doing what you all need to do in order to make sure that you both get what you want to get out of the situation. And I just feel like it started off good, like the intimate scenes of them together is actually amazing, but besides that, the ending of it, I was just like, that was so unnecessary. Like they could have just figured out a way. One could have just ran away and disappeared and never came back, But the fact that they did that at the end and on a bus, it was like, they just ruined my whole mood to the movie. So that's why Adan for me is also a horrible lesbian movie. Not horrible. I might be over exaggerating with this expression, but it was just not giving what it's supposed to give, in my personal opinion. And then moving on to the last one, we have Wrong Place. It was released in 2022. It's an action thriller. It follows a former police chief of a small town in order to silence him before he can deliver eyewitness testimony. Tammy and Chloe are the lesbian couple in the movie, and the reason why this movie is horrible is because the quality of the movie is very plain. The acting and the interaction wasn't giving what it's supposed to give, despite the happy ending, because they actually do have a happy ending on the movie. In this case, it had very poor acting performance. It had a lot of potential also to be a great and an amazing movie, but I just felt like it didn't make the cut, And if you guys want to know more about it, I would recommend you also go watch it on Prime Video, and I've also done a review regarding it on the channel just in case. And to be honest, I feel like for this type of movie, like the action parts, it just looked really fake. It looked like they were really acting, The quality could have been better despite the happy outcome, which is something positive. I just felt like the movie was empty. It was empty. I feel like you was just watching it just to watch it, And this is another movie that I was watching just to do the review, and I was kind of just skipping through it because I just wanted to do a review regarding the movie, because actually a movie that I wanted to watch for a very long time, and I finally got the opportunity to watch it. I was very disappointed, but it is what it is. So yes, guys, this is my list, part 1 of terrible lesbian movies. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments if you agree or disagree. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Until the next video, and goodbye.